It's Friday. It's Labor Day weekend. Why are you listening to this? Why aren't you out doing something fun? It's the end of summer. For those of you who did stick around on the interwebs, this is Invisible Walls, episode 73. Is that right?
73.
Episode 73. We're here rocking. We have actually changed the show a little bit. We're now recording the show on Wednesdays to make sure that we get a lot more info into the show that's a little more important and pertinent. I know with our Monday delay, it was a little rough before, so we are recording it a lot later. Hopefully you'll see the improvement in the show. I do have a big announcement to make. I know you guys are all frothing over the brand new PS3 Slim. Well, here's a chance to get one completely free, and hopefully I will not just read this copy word for word and sound like an announcer. We are having a contest on GameTrailers, and it's sort of linked into our Twitter account, and here's how it works. Every week for 3 weeks starting on September 1st, which is already here, and so you should do this over the weekend, we will tweet a word of the week on our Twitter account. And basically what you need to do is you need to go and you need to write that down and you need to hold it. And then for the following 2 more weeks, we'll add 2 more words of the week. And then once you finally have all 3 words of the week, you need to message Gazelle27, that's Gazelle 27, for those of you just listening to the audio portion of this. Message that person with all 3 words of the week. You'll be tossed into a drawing, and the winner will get a PS3 Slim. You need to get your entries in by midnight Pacific on September 24th. And then we'll announce the winner, what is it, on the 25th? Yeah, we choose the winner on the 25th. You'll know about who won shortly after that. So good luck to everyone who enters. Again, make sure that you go to our Twitter account, look for the word of the week, do it 3 weeks in a row, then submit it by the 24th at midnight Pacific. Good luck, everybody.
This is only open to North America.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we need to put that disclaimer in. Sorry for everybody in Europe and Africa and Middle East and everywhere else.
But not Australia.
You're not apologizing to Australia. Ryan's going to war with Australia.
Right now, right?
But yeah, this is only for continental North America because Shane just bought a new car and we can't afford the postage overseas.
Actually, the reason that is because MTV has certain contest rules, and if we start opening up the contest to international audiences, it gets really messy, and in all honesty, we just probably can't do the contest at all. So, sorry, all our viewers and listeners around the world. This is for North America only, but good luck to those of you who do enter. And without further ado, let's get the show going.
With the amazing,
adventurous, acrobatic,
and exceedingly well-known
fabulous, flying,
Ferrucini brothers.
That's us.
My brother Alfredo.
And my brother Bill.
All right, and sitting in on this revamped show this week, you already heard from Marcus Beer.
Hello, me old twinkles.
Patrick Morales, fresh from jury duty.
Bonsoir.
And Ryan Stevens, who you also heard from already.
What's up?
All right, so the big news this week, and this is only sort of peripherally, I think I just made up another word, related to video games, but Disney bought Marvel this week for, what was it, over $4 billion?
That was one expensive comic book.
Well, they also, I mean, the caveat there is that they actually do not get rights to produce all the movies for Marvel-related properties. Sony has certain rights to certain movies.
Like
Well, no, I mean, they have...
And X-Men.
Contracts.
They inherit the contracts, and
Right.
that's the thing. Sony does have the Spider-Man stuff. Fox has X-Men. There are a number of titles like Iron Man, Avengers, Thor, which are being produced under the Marvel Studios banner, and they already have existing deals with Paramount to distribute some of those movies, and they're still going to go ahead. It's just like when any takeover happens, just like when Bethesda bought id, Rage is still coming out via EA.
Right. Now, I think in the long run, this will pay huge dividends for them when all those contracts run out and they have full control over the whole catalog. We may not be alive when that happens, but...
No, Disney's been real interesting in publishing lately. I mean, they dropped Buena Vista, which they used to use for distribution for like their PG-13 and R-rated stuff. Like, The Crow, that old movie where Bruce Lee's kid, Brandon Lee, passed away. That was technically Disney.
Yeah.
Even though they put it under Buena Vista.
And
I remember video games for a long time.
Yeah,
that was actually the last great grown-up Disney movie. The Crow.
But same, they dropped Buena Vista to just go Disney Publishing for like Spectrobes and Pure and all the Disney games.
Turok.
Yeah, Turok. I mean, you don't really think murdering dinosaurs is a Disney.
Well, I talked to the guys at Disney at E3, and I was like, so Turok sold through the roof. I'm like, wow, you guys got to be stoked. He's like, yeah, we're stoked. And I'm like, so why isn't the sequel here? And he's like, Like basically saying,
Mickey didn't like it.
yeah. I mean, in a roundabout way, he was saying, we're probably not going to do another Turok game, and I'm guessing Mickey was not happy with the play. And that game did kind of go over the top in that way. So
that's my overriding fear with regards to this merger. I mean, if they go almost like the Time Warner DC route and let DC run their own, fine. And they've done that to a certain degree with Pixar, because Pixar, Disney bought out Pixar and they were more profitable. But I certainly hope, and I pray to God that the mouse does not start interfering with Marvel, because as far as I'm concerned, Marvel is holy grail. You can't with it.
yeah, but I also think that the Marvel-based movies haven't been as violent as they probably could or should be.
Well, yeah, you look at Wolverine.
So imagine what happens once Disney gets a hold of it. Is it going to go even farther in that direction?
You look at Blade. Blade's a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
Blade's based on a comic book, not perhaps the most popular of comic books. When it comes to more mainstream stuff, Spider-Man. I mean, the first Spider-Man had some very violent scenes in it.
Yeah.
Wolverine, pretty violent, not so much with the blood.
Well, do you remember Bambi when they shot the mom? Brutal.
You cried, Ryan.
I cried like a little baby.
Was Old Yeller a Disney movie as well?
probably was.
Rabies dog action, yeah.
I think most people would agree, though, that, maybe Marvel would be better off left on its own. But on the flip side of it, they were mentioning that right when the merger happened that Marvel was having talks with Pixar. And John Lasseter expressed an interest in making maybe a Marvel-based Pixar movie. So, I mean, just imagine that with maybe what Brad Bird's done with The Incredibles, and it could be something pretty good.
No, I mean, they could actually do some really good stuff. I mean, I'm thinking stuff like a Secret Wars movie, where they take that. But, I mean, obviously,
I would love that.
We're not here to talk about the movie side. We're talking about the impact on the games.
And Tron.
People.
I want Marvel characters in the Tron universe.
Yeah. I think the last official word for the game side of it is that Bob Iger, the CEO of Disney, said that they were going to evaluate the licensing deals for the games right as they expire. And they're still up in the air right now. I think with Activision, who does all the Marvel Ultimate Alliance stuff and the Wolverine movie stuff, I think they're set to expire in 2017.
I think 2017 is the first one to expire.
Yeah.
2019 is
For
the
the
second
MMO.
one for the MMO.
Yeah.
Then there's the Sega one, which is title year to year. It's a
movie
rolling
games.
deal. But I think that rolling deal, from what I've heard, expires after
stop
the
rolling.
sequel. Well, it expires, or the option comes up to renew after Iron Man 2. Which, if Sega do a job on Iron Man 2 as they did on Iron Man 1.
Which I don't know that's quite possible.
Well, I'm
But
sure,
Iron
I'm
Man
sure they'll
sold
give it a go.
through the roof.
Yeah, but it was a game.
I mean, at some point, Marvel has to protect its IP.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see, I've said this before, I would love to see Marvel take the same view of games that they do with movies, where they've set up Marvel Studios and they started producing stuff in-house, and they should really, as soon as these deals expire, they should start pulling this stuff in-house. And if they want to subcontract to third parties, they should go off and do that and pull, get developers like people like Rocksteady, who've just done Batman Arkham Asylum, get those guys to do some really great franchises. I think the interesting thing is going to be, and I had this discussion with somebody else earlier, somebody said, Marvel and Disney don't want to go the traditional publishing route. It's a lot of money to set up distribution. It's better off going to EA. By the time these deals expire, we'll be looking at digital distribution. So it's going to be much easier. So I would say once these deals start expiring, Activision's going to lose them. Sega's going to lose them, and Disney will pull them back in. And it might actually kickstart Disney's gaming arm, legitimately, and they just slap the Marvel sticker on it.
So let's head around the horn and just ask each one of you guys: Disney buying Marvel, good thing or bad thing for Marvel video games? Marcus.
I'm actually going to be positive. I'm going to say it's a good thing because, let's face it, given the state of a lot of the Marvel games, couldn't have been much worse.
Patrick.
I think for now, to me, it looks like a wait-and-see kind of game. I think that they may be heading in a positive direction, and actually one quote that I like specifically comes from Andy Diggle on Twitter, who is a writer for Daredevil, Marvel Comics. He said, let's remember, Disney owned Miramax when they made films like Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction, Trainspotting, and The Crow. So kind of just going off of Ryan's last comment, who knows, could be good.
Mm-hmm.
Stevens.
For selfish reasons, I think Disney owning Marvel makes there be a slightly bigger chance there could be a Shadowcat game. So I'm all for it.
Phase through anything.
Yeah, she's friendly with the kids. She's a pet dragon.
And I would say it's way too early to really judge. I like Marvel having a juggernaut like Disney behind it for financial considerations, distribution, and things like that. But I also fear that Disney begins meddling in the content of the games. I mean, think about the Wolverine game. Do you think Disney's going to be cool with that? A really violent, bloody game like that?
That's the thing. I mean, it's definitely wait and see, because we have to see if they're going to interfere. If they're not going to interfere, if they're going to go the Pixar route, fine. If they're going to go the Miramax, and I'm talking early Miramax before the Weinsteins had this acrimonious split with them, then I think that we could be seeing something really cool. I mean, the key for Disney, and Disney are very savvy. As long as they don't start introducing Hannah Montana into the X-Men, I'll be happy.
That actually sounds kind of brilliant.
although honestly, if they have the Avengers take on the Jonas Brothers, I'll be totally down with that. Anything to watch the Jonas Brothers get destroyed.
And speaking of some verses, we asked on our Twitter feed what some fights you'd like to see, and we got Fearless Hyena wanted Evil Genie Jafar versus Onslaught. Zombie X wanted Beast versus Beast, which I think
that would be Beast versus
the Beast, which I think Penny Arcade kind of handled today. And I think this was the one everyone liked the most, was Venom versus Donald Duck.
From Cereal Business, which I love that name. I also love cereal.
I think my money's on Venom.
And then Steinman has Mr. Incredible versus Captain America. Captain America happens to be my favorite superhero.
Captain America's dead, by the way.
I know that. All right, next we're going to talk about Batman Arkham Asylum. I think this may be one of the few games we've talked about this many times on the show, but it's for a damn good reason. The game is awesome.
It's awesomest.
It is awesome. I've played
Surprising.
I'm about 4.5 hours into it. Definitely not going to stop. I'm going to finish this game. I'm not the world's biggest comic book guy. This game definitely transcends your interest or lack thereof in comic book heroes or Batman. It's just a really solid, great playing video game with excellent production values.
Yeah, they're through the roof. Like, anytime you die, like, the little death villain talking to you is, like, custom made for wherever you are.
Mm-hmm. How did they make such a great game?
They've been working.
What did they do before? Chili Con Carnage?
Yeah.
They made one game, it was like Police Force or something, Rocksteady.
What the hell?
They made like a really weird, like obscure
Under the
PS2
radar,
game,
yeah.
And then they went to this.
Well,
How?
Let's back this up. First of all, I mean, we were excited about this game, and then over the summer
We played the little demo.
Played the demo, and we all got a little nervous, and we heard about this whole IDOS, UK PR deal disaster.
And to be fair, I think the combat still is a little
I think they balance it really well between, like, when you're beating up dudes, it's easy, but you get to have, you're Batman.
Yeah,
you get to have fun trying to chain those combos. It's more of like just trying to get a combo.
when you
but
unlock
then when you're
some of
doing the
those-
stealth, I would say, like, I'm going to get for this, but I would say I like the stealth segments better than Metal Gear Solid. Like, zinging all around.
You're going to get for that.
I know.
And you know what? I'm actually with you, because I think there is nothing
Guns
cooler
are
than
lethal.
dropping off a gargoyle and pulling a guy up and just leave him dangling, and then watch all the the
Idiots
run around and basically just like they're standing underneath him. Yeah, we'll get you down in a minute. The way they react, and you see the terror levels go up. They get really really wound up. I really actually had more fun with the stealth on this than Metal Gear and Splinter Cell.
And they do a good balance between the just beat up a ton of dudes and here's 5 guys with guns that you have to be stealthy around.
And when you start unlocking some of the upgrades for combat, that's when it starts to really kick in and become more elevated. And especially when you bring the Batarang into that as well, and the upgrades for the Batarang in the combat environment.
I just really liked how they developed the characters. I mean, I know it seems like it's based more on the comic book, but the bad guys in this game feel bad and they feel diabolical. You're scared of the guys. Like, I know Croc. Like, I fought that boss fight for a while, and I was literally scared.
The first time Croc got out of that elevator, it was like, finally, this is the killer Croc that the DC universe deserves. He's 9 foot tall. He's armor plated. He's scaly. He'll rip you to shreds and eat you. And some people have criticized that Killer Croc level. Some people have said, "Oh, Batman should be able to take him on instead of being running away." And I think that's total bollocks, because
Batman doesn't have any real special powers.
no, Batman doesn't really
How do you
take on Croc
How do you
one-on-one.
fight a dude that's 9 foot tall with armor plating?
You go through the comic books, and he'll use his gadgets. He uses hypersonics to scramble the guy's brain. He'll knock him out with a crane, or he'll put him in a net and electrocute him.
But there's nothing there for him to do that. So they do a good job of setting up that scenario scenario and making it plausible.
Yeah, going back to what Shane said about the story, I really like how they handled it as well. Of course, you've got all the show talent. You've got Mark Hamill, Kevin Conroy, Paul Dini, the writer. But then again, it's a really interesting pastiche because it incorporates elements from the comics as well. It's neither the cartoon or the comic. It kind of makes this weird little niche for itself, which is really cool. And I think for it to be independent of all those other forms and have it just be in the game is really cool.
Paul Dini did a brilliant job. This
yeah.
is one of the best written video games
I'd agree.
I have played in ever.
And probably one of the best voice-acted video games.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I actually get excited when I find the interview tapes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, I actually stay and listen to them. I don't, cancel out of it like I do with Bioshock or something.
But you can actually, I found out you can actually walk around and listen what's going on too.
Yeah.
And let's look at the graphics. I mean, let's look at the characterizations. We talked about Killer Croc, how amazing he is. But I mean, Harley Quinn
All of
looks
them.
phenomenal. Joker.
Oh, but-
Poison Ivy is so hot in this game.
But even Batman taking damage
Yeah.
as the game goes on, getting the tears in your cape and
Yeah.
like stuff like that. Little attention to detail,
Nice
but that's
little
what makes
marker
it.
of
That's what
progress.
makes a game great, good for,
And
to
that's
great.
why I can't believe that they made this game. I
Yeah.
mean, it's like he
Totally
went-
out of left field.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. Well,
And then the Riddler puzzles, I was a little disappointed in the demo because it's like, oh, I found a question mark.
Yeah.
But then the actual puzzles where they kind of had the whole Pokemon Snap photography thing
Yeah,
even
yeah.
worked in, it's really cool. You go around, you find the little maps, like, oh, I'll just figure it out. But if you don't want to get bogged down with that stuff, you don't have to be.
Go back to the graphics. If when you get to the end of the game and you see some of the close-ups of Batman during the cinematics, he's got stubble. He's got
Yeah.
bite. He's getting really kind of pale because he's been beating the crap out of everybody all night. That's just insane. Love it.
A little bit of a sidebar, but I think Rocksteady, who made the game, they mentioned in between Police Force, whatever the game they're working on before to Arkham, they're working on a treatment for a next-gen game, and I think Eidos was the one that approached them. And then they just
Who gave them this game? That's, I mean,
and they just mixed the two together.
that took some balls
Yeah.
to hand Batman to a developer who's made hardly anything.
just one game.
And then for them to
literally.
just knock it out of the park like that,
Yeah.
Eidos got lucky.
it needed it, though.
Time
Eidos needed a hit.
Well, yeah, I mean, and it's ironic that Eidos doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
So, I mean, what
Super Enix
happened?
era.
I mean, I don't want to spoil away the ending, but it does set up a sequel and DLC
course.
down the line. But with Eidos gone, I can't see Square Enix taking this on. I can't see them having the skill set to market this type of game.
They'll
And
take
so
all that
Maybe
money.
maybe they'll give it to Grin. Ha ha ha. I still can't believe they were going to have Grin do a Final Fantasy game.
Grin is dead.
Bizarre. I know.
Well, Grin is
that's part
dead.
of the
So
joke.
I mean, I think we'll see this revert to Warner Interactive now, and that's where it belongs. But this is the model that go back to the Disney discussion. Disney need to look at this,
Yeah.
and Marvel Games Studios, whatever, they need to look at this because this is what we need. Games that, as you said, transcend the comic book. This would be a frigging great game in its own right, whether you have Batman or not.
Doesn't matter what the character is.
And the other thing I'd really like to say, what really impressed me, no bugs. No bugs, no glitches, no clipping, no dodgy bits of cinematic. The one segment where I thought, oh, my machine spazzed out,
It was intentional.
it was intentional.
Yeah.
It was intentional, and me and
Pretty
Patrick
clever
were
too,
looking at each
yeah.
other and just laughing because then it kicks off into a really cool segment, which I'm not going to spoil. If you haven't bought Batman Arkham Asylum yet, it's one of the best games of this year or any other year, in my opinion. It's a strong contender for Game of Year, and I know we have a lot more stuff coming out, and I'm a Bat fan. I make no bones about it, but this is one of the best games I've ever played, and I'm already replaying it because of all the challenges I need to finish, and I want to crack hard level. I just want to unlock everything.
I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't call it one of the best games I've ever played. And to qualify this, I'm not a Batman fan. Great game, very solid.
Well, I'll say for this year so far,
It's one of the better games this year.
yeah.
But, I mean, when you're talking about one of the greatest games of all time, you're talking about games that created things like lock-on combat. I mean, you can't put this game into the same class as those games.
The thing I will say, this game, everything this game does, it does very, very well, and it
Yeah.
takes a lot of things from other areas, Splinter Cell and Metal Gear Solid, and makes the combat easy, and the stealth is really intuitive, and you've got the detective mode, and you've got this great storyline, this great acting, this great audio, this great video, and it comes together as a perfect storm, and that's why it may not innovate. In the regular sense, but I think it innovates because everything it does f***ing well.
And I would agree that it's one of the better games I've played that really just was an amalgamation of a lot of other ideas put into one. And I would definitely agree with that. But when you start talking about greatest games of all time, I don't think it belongs in that class.
When you take an insane person to the asylum, you're just taking him home.
All right, a couple big trailers came out this week that actually were more than just trailers. They revealed a lot about the games that they were representing. One was the first trailer for Grand Theft Auto. Is it The Adventures
The
of
Ballad of Gay Tony.
The Ballad of Gay
Liberty
Tony?
City Stories. What's the full thing they
Yeah.
want?
Yeah,
Whatever.
it's Liberty
Let's just say
Liberty
Gay
City
Tony.
Do you think
Legends
they're trying
Chronicles.
to keep the word gay out of the title?
I think they're just trying to sell the box set more. So,
Yeah.
Who knows, though? I mean, it's Rockstar.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, it's funny that it's a 360 title. It's going to be downloadable, and you can't put the word gay in any of your avatars on 360.
yeah. It's that brings up a bigger discussion, I think, about, sort of gays in games and how that's marketed. I mean, there hasn't been many games for gay people, if any. I guess the Tingle games from Japan could loosely be
Ambiguously.
Whatever
yeah.
do you mean?
Captain
Well, I mean,
Rainbow.
No, there was what was that? There was a BioWare. No, there was some RPG where you could, like in Fable you could
Well, yeah, I mean,
Empire.
BioWare, Mass
Icewind
Effect.
Dale. I think Icewind Dale. You could have you could like rescue a gay guy and he could marry you and stuff like that.
Well, I mean, Mass
But this
Effect.
is the
you could
first
have-
game to really have it in the title. The main character is blatantly gay. Do you guys think that that's going to
It's not-
hinder the
it's not
sales
character
of it?
It's
you're
not the
playing,
main
though.
character.
It's not
Right.
the main character. It's
He's
the
the
character
main
you report.
character, but he's not the person you're playing as.
Yeah. I honestly, let's face it, anybody who has a problem with buying it because they're gay, they're ass anyway.
Right, but that's beyond the question. The question is, do you think it's going to hurt sales?
It'll be interesting.
And do you think
to see-
Rockstar
honestly,
is massaging it?
I was thinking that because sometimes we don't have the nicest comments
Right.
on our trailers, but
Yeah.
for the most part, I mean, there was some things that were kind of borderline, but I didn't see anything. I didn't see that many things over the top, like homophobic in the comments, and I was surprised.
That's surprising.
There was some comments like, "Oh, I'm glad I'm actually playing a straight dude," because I envisioned myself as the guy. I'm like, okay, but I mean, I was really surprised. I think the power of Grand Theft Auto may cross boundaries of.
Well,
But do you
that's
think
going to be
homophobia.
interesting, though. I mean, Grand Theft Auto is one of the more, machismo.
That's what I'm
games.
talking about. Like, it's one of those
So-
games where it's a dude's game. It's the guys who buy Madden buy Grand Theft Auto. Are those guys going to pay for this game?
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see. I mean, do they want their Xbox avatar to say, so and so is playing the Ballad of Gay Tony?
Right.
I mean,
Which is maybe why they're changing. They're kind of diverting or massaging how they're naming it.
You know what? It's the character you report to. He's this gay gangster. Good luck to them. I think if they should stick to their guns. I'm looking forward to playing. I'm actually looking forward to playing this more after seeing the trailer and
Great trailer, by the way.
Yeah,
Well, let's talk about exactly the game. I mean, instead of just
You
talking
see
about
the
the
helicopter picking up the train car?
Game.
Yeah.
That's like crazy. I mean,
Well,
I
there's
honestly,
base jumping apparently. You can just
Give it a
jump off
parachute.
of wherever.
Well, you
and-
see, you have to. Yeah, you got to. The parachute. You have to. You can bail out the
And
helicopter.
it seems like there's actually new. Like, I mean, I didn't play Lost in the Damned, unfortunately, but like from what I gathered, it was a great story and everything, but it didn't actually. I mean, there was more bikes, but there wasn't actually new gameplay elements.
there wasn't a whole lot, no.
But this looks like. I mean, there's actually new gameplay elements. I mean, they're like variations on a theme, but I mean.
Well, base jumping's brand new. I mean,
Yeah, I
see
know,
him
but I
playing
mean,
the
San
side of the
Andreas had
building.
the jetpack and stuff like
Right.
that. Not exactly the same, but.
Well, it seems like they're building up with these expansion packs up to the point that the series had gotten to in the last gen of consoles. So they're kind of repeating the whole process over again. They're sort of giving you drops of these.
hopefully, there won't be exercising and food.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could do without that. But I mean, honestly, the thing that cracked me up. I mean, they always have the best soundtracks.
Oh, yeah.
But I just love the whole choreographed disco.
Yeah.
Do you think there's going to be like a rhythm mini game, or did you see they're
Really?
playing instruments? I know, I'm just
Yeah.
wondering. I mean, there could even be like maybe they'll do like a Guitar Hero spoof or something
Well,
like that.
the club scene seems to be a pretty big
Choreographed.
part of that.
Well, Rockstar, I mean, if you go to their offices in New York, there's house music playing. They have, like, turntables set up in their offices where their guys that work there that play house music can go up and DJ whenever they want to. They're kind of already integrated into that club scene thing, and I think this might be sort of a pet project for them, saying, okay, well, this is the culture that we have outside of work. Let's finally bring it into one of our games.
Yeah,
There's lots
so-
of shots of the DJ behind the turntables and people on dance floors. And
I just hope there's some cool mini games involved
Yeah.
that are like side missions, like maybe you drop E and you have to hug like 10 people or something like that, and find orange juice.
drink a lot of water.
yeah, you have to drink water every, like, 5 minutes.
Is it GTA turning into The Sims?
That's interesting.
Well, a
actually.
cool version of this.
very
Yeah,
cool,
that-
an
that's
enjoyable
actually-
version
that's
of
a
The
joke.
Sims.
That's actually interesting.
But overall, I mean, I think on my expectations, it was pretty low on my radar. Now I'm excited to play the game, and that's what a good trailer always does.
Yeah, me too. I'm looking forward to it probably more than Lost and Damned. And just to go back to the initial point about gay gaming and all this sort of stuff, I don't really know, and I don't think anybody knows, what would make, what a gay gamer wants. I think most sexual orientation has got anything to do with it at the end of the day. I think.
Does it not, though?
I think honestly, I think, and I may be wrong here, but I think if gamers are of the homosexual or lesbian tendencies, which is fine. I mean, I'm sure they get as much fun out of playing Batman and,
I think certain games, certainly.
UFC.
But I think any game where you have, like, a love interest or whatever, I think that would change their perception of the game a little.
Well, I think that's where, they're probably playing the more Mass Effects, Fables, Icewind Dales of this world, playing the RPGs, if they want to go that way. I mean, I would also say that probably most of them are way more mature than a lot of gamers and don't really give a about that because they're probably having healthy, committed relationships with their other halves anyway, and they don't need to be fulfilled in that way by a video game.
Yeah. So the other big trailer that came out was a new trailer for Modern Warfare 2. I don't even know if we'd call it a trailer.
It's one giant gameplay clip.
Multiplayer.
One giant one and one little one.
Yeah,
I'm actually more interested in the little one. That hot seat server swapping is awesome, and if that's actually how long it takes to reconnect, like hats off to Infinity Ward. That's
I don't
great.
think most of the people that watched that trailer even understood what was going on there, though. It was kind of confusing as to what feature they were showing off during the whole disconnect, reconnect.
Yeah, in a nutshell, if someone who's hosting drops out, they're going to reconnect it to someone else who's playing, so the game will go on. So that's
and
just
it took
awesome.
about a fraction of. They were probably on a LAN, but still,
it
wasn't
took like
the best
5 or 6 seconds. I don't know. That was really cool, though.
Well, then the other thing that they showed really was using the blast shields,
Which,
to
and
escort the flag carrier.
But it's still the people are getting dropped left and right.
Well, then it's funny. He comes around the one corner carrying the flag, and he shoots somebody with a blast shield right in the face and just kills them like that. So
I thought he
still
had
realistic.
I thought he took him from behind.
the gay game segment.
I did like the whole blood spray from when you got hit and how it gradually dissipated. I thought it's gonna be huge.
It's going to be awesome. I'm so stoked for this game.
Let's be honest, Capture the Flag is just a great mode.
It always has been, and it always will be.
Yeah, I mean, since they added it, was Quake the first-person shooter to have it? Quake 1, probably?
I mean, is there any moment in video games in general that gets your heart pounding or is more exciting than when you've grabbed the flag and you're trying to get the flag to your base?
No, it's...
Anything.
When you're rolling on epic loot for World of Warcraft?
I mean, seriously, maybe something like that. But I mean, otherwise...
I hope the random number generator comes up in my favor.
But otherwise, I mean, that moment where you've got the flag and you know that there's 18, 20 dudes that are all after you, I mean, your heart just starts pounding. It's like...
The other thing I'd say is there's all the new kill streaks. Yeah. I think, people are always being like, you took my kill. It's actually going to be part of the tactics now. It's like, let this guy get these kills so he can get these awesome power-ups. I don't know how coordinated that's going to be.
Well, then it comes down to how much do people care about their own stats versus winning.
Yeah.
Which, as we all know, usually they err on the side of my own stats.
Well, I think that also means that they're going to try and push the whole squad, guild, clan ethos, and perhaps more it'll be lead to more clans on Xbox Live and PSN as opposed to being predominantly a PC-based environment. You get lots of clans there. So
their promotion of this game is very interesting, don't you think?
I can't wait to see what happens next. I'm assuming the next thing will be another multiplayer, but after the first one being a real cut trailer, this being a gameplay clip,
yeah,
it's what's next?
I mean, you remember the first Call of Duty 4, and it's like most of their trailers were just huge, epic. I mean, towards the end of the cycle, they started putting out stuff like that, but
old-timey mode.
I mean, there were several epic trailers, and we really only got one of those so far. So
and the trailers have been focusing more on multiplayer because everybody knows multiplayer is what's going to sell.
That's where it's at. Yeah. And the single player will probably be over like the first game in 7 or 8 hours, and then ultimate. And I've talked to some people that never even played the single player of Call of Duty 4, which I'm flabbergasted by because it's freaking awesome. But a lot of people don't do it. I think it's maybe a lot of people that came into the game later and just heard about it because of multiplayer, or they saw all their friends on their friends list playing it or whatever. But yeah, I mean, if the mission of a trailer is to get people excited, in my opinion, mission frickin' accomplished.
What's wrong, T?
I've done a deal with the wrong devil, man. I'm the only man in the history of this town with the hottest gay and straight clubs at the same time, and I'm about to lose everything.
All right, and for those of you who have stuck around all the way to the end of the show,
A special treat.
we do have a special treat. Thanks for hanging in there, and Patrick is going to tell you about it.
Yeah, so I guess you guys have been maybe heard about Heroes of Newerth, which is basically a competitor to League of Legends. It's a Dota-themed game. It's currently in beta right now, and we are giving away beta keys for it. They are pretty hot right now, I'm told, and we have about 200 to give away. And if you want to get one, be sure to message with your GT account HON beta keys and put beta key, one word, in the title, and you'll automatically get one sent to you. For those that don't know, Heroes of Newerth, again, is a Dota clone. We ran an exclusive trailer for it last week if you want to see a little glimpse of the gameplay. It's really cool. It's in beta right now, so go check it out.
Now, any stipulations with this beta? I know when we did Fat Princess, the people that took the beta keys had to actually give us sort of a quick report on their experience with the game. Will people need to do anything like that with this beta?
I don't think so. I mean, you guys can
Realize it's for the PC.
Yeah, first of all, it is
on
for
your
PC.
PS Triple.
And it's just to clarify, do they message a GameTrailers account?
Yes. Message with your GT account HON beta keys and put beta key, one word, in the title, and you'll automatically get one sent to you.
All right, that's going to do it for episode 73. Hope you guys are all having an awesome Labor Day weekend. Is this actually one holiday that's global? Do people in Europe get Labor Day?
People
That's
in Europe
May
do not.
1st, right?
No, I mean you get the August bank holiday in the UK, which is just gone. I would have thought actually it was last weekend. I would have thought. But yeah, that's Labor Day is a US only holiday. I'm not sure if they have it in Canada. They might have it up north.
Well, for our peeps in Europe, just act like it's Labor Day anyway. Kick up the feet a little
I
bit.
think you guys have had, they had the holiday last weekend. I mean, they actually get a couple of really good sort of like summer bank holidays and stuff like that. So
Well, don't they get like 3 months of vacation every year anyway?
England only gets 1 month. Hardest working people in Europe.
they only
They
get
get
a month.
7 weeks in France, I think.
But I think the downside is that back home in the UK, we only get one afternoon of sun. It's on a Tuesday.
Touche.
It's on a Tuesday sometime between.
And there's only 3
June
dentists
and-
in there. They're all nearsighted.
Yeah. All right, well, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Have an awesome Labor Day weekend. We'll see you guys next time. Invisible Walls out.